What's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. Now, I know, people are still feeling down with the most recent liquidation event that we saw across the crypto market. And here's the thing, guys, people are not overreacting. What happened here was actually the largest liquidation event that we've had since 2021. That's right, so a lot of people got hurt this time around. Now, big ups to the Mango Seed community for posting a bunch of articles on what really went down on October 10th. From what I understand, some exchanges had their auto deleveraging function kick in, which ended up screwing over not only the long positions, but also the short positions. In fact, the largest single liquidation order happened on Hyperliquid, BTC USD, with a value of $5.70 million. I believe part of this was due to the auto deleveraging function that kicked in. This is to say that crypto fear and greed, currently hovering at fear at 32, is not a overreaction by any means. Now, a lot of people are left questioning, well, what now from here? Is this the market turn? Is this where we get into bear market territory? Well, let's just say I got good news for you and I have bad news for you. And for the sake of ending off this video in a good note, I'm actually going to start off with the bad news. Now, no, I don't mean to add more despair to the mix. I'll spoil the story by telling you that, hey, the good news far outweighs the bad news. So hang in there with me. But for bad news number one, I actually do see Bitcoin coming down a tad bit more. And that is primarily owing to our Bollinger Band and MACD system that actually has a very high probability of playing out. The signal that we're looking for over here is a 2-indicator system. I want to see the MACD, the indicator at the bottom of my screen, cross bearish, which it has been bearish now since August of this year. Now for the second signal, we want to see price break the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, and currently we're threatening to break down from that. The midpoint currently coming in at $113,000. Now here's the edge, guys. Every time we get the trigger on this system, price ends up coming all the way down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which currently comes in at around $102,000 per BTC. Can we have a cascading effect of this drawdown onto the altcoins as well? Well, we all know about the baseline correlation that we see across the crypto market. Now, it's not necessary that all of the altcoins are correlated. This is just me telling you that, hey, if there is a bearish pattern being printed, or if the price action isn't looking too good, or it's tipping to favor the bears, then hey, you might very well see those bearish moves actually play out even on the respective altcoin that you're looking at. Bad news number two is that price getting down to $102,000 also triggers this minor double top formation, the measured move to which could take Bitcoin all the way down to $93,000. Now, for those of you wondering, well, what are the odds the markets actually turn here? Well, for that, there's actually historic precedent. If you look at every single halving we've had since 2012, you'll find that the duration between the halving to the cycle top, you'll find that there is symmetry across cycles. Now, in 2012, from the halving to when the cycle turned and we got into bear market territory, that was a good 395 days. Fast forward to the halving of 2016, from the halving to when the cycle turned and we got into bear market territory, that was a good 518 days. Fast forward to the halving of 2020, from the halving event to the cycle top. When price reversed and we got into bear market territory, once again, that too was a good 518 days. Now fast forward to 2024. If history is anything to go by, guys, we're already at that 518-day mark. We're only 1 month short of it. Now, no, it's not necessary that it all plays out. After all, when you're looking at historic data points, you're looking at fractals. This is not present-day information. There is no forecasting data that can be stronger than what you have in front of you. In fact, in every single reversal that we had back in 2014, in 2017, as well as in 2021, we had a clear bear market signal trigger, one which we have not gotten this time around. But I found this historic fractal too interesting to not bring to your attention today. I know people don't want to hear it, but it's always about being prepared for what might come next. So now, what was that signal that triggered in all of those 3 instances that we do not have this time around? Well, that now brings us to our good news. And the good news is this. Price is still holding all cyclical levels that have been keeping us on the right side of this bull market thus far. The first one is none other than the bi-weekly dynamic support, and you can see that ever since the cycle began, the bi-weekly dynamic has kept us on the right side of the trade. In fact, on closer inspection, even if price gets down to $102,000, which is the bottom of the Bollinger Band, hell, even if it gets down to the measured move at $93,000, well, guess what? We're still within the bull run parameters. The price could literally come all the way down here, oscillate between the zone, and we would still be safe. Good news number 2 is this: the monthly 10 simple moving average. Not only have we held it as support through much of the cycle and all other previous cycles, the monthly 10 is currently swinging in at $102,000. Guys, how is that for confluence? We got the monthly 10, we got the bi-weekly dynamic support, as well as the weekly Bollinger Band. For as long as we can defend this getting into the month of October, the bulls could still very well take over from here. We cannot possibly get bearish until and unless we see candle closes, monthly candle closes underneath $102,000. And of course, if you guys want to keep up with these levels on the dynamic indicator as well as the monthly 10, well, then make sure you're hitting the sub and the bell icon, because I will be going over them on every single Bitcoin analysis. And hey, since we're looking at historical precedent for all the previous bull markets that we've had so far, let's look at Bitcoin's historic quarterly returns. Because if we go over every single bull market thus far, back in 2013, back in 2017, back in 2021, as well as right now in 2025, the last quarter of every single bull market was a green quarter. In 2013, we ended off with a green quarter. In 2017 was also a green quarter. In 2021 was also a green quarter. Now, fast forward to 2025, we only just started Q4, guys. We're only but 16 days in, and price is only down 2%. So the bulls still have a considerable amount of time, as well as price buffer, to step in right here. I know you guys are probably wondering, Krisha, how? Sentiment is crushed. People don't even want to look at crypto. People are looking to exit crypto. How in the world are we going to see a revival from the sentiment of fear? And I get it, guys, you're right. It takes but a moment to kill that bullish sentiment. In fact, through this cycle alone, we've had three instances of sentiment getting crushed into fear. The first one was in August and September of 2023. The second one was in the summer of 2024. The third one was earlier this year between the months of Feb and April of 2025. Now, for the fourth time, we're back down at fear. But here's the thing, guys. I got good news number 4. Because in every single instance where sentiment was at fear, once again back in September of 2023, in the summer of 2024, earlier this year between Feb and April of 2025, well, guess what? Every single one of those instances were buy the dip opportunities for the market. I'm sure you guys have already made this observation, but price very seldom top off on sentiments of fear and despair. You'll often find that the key markers, the key sentiment markers of every single bull run that we've had thus far was always greed and euphoria, every single time. I'm sure everywhere you looked, people were willing and very happy to buy the dip. Hell, they were excited to buy the dip. They were thanking the heavens that they got the dip to begin with. That's not what we're seeing right now. The most recent deleveraging nuked sentiment to the ground. Traders on both sides got caught off. This is why I want to urge you guys to be very, very careful when you are trading with leverage. And I want to bring up this post from Sean on the Mango Seed Discord chat today. Sean's been dropping a lot of alpha. He's been there for the community now since the beginning of this cycle. He got all of us into Bitcoin when it was at $17,000. Alright, so if you're not already following him on Twitter, go ahead and do so. But these are 3 lessons that he highlighted about leverage, and I want to bring this up to your attention today. He says, consistent wins are only a consequence of lessons learned and skills honed. What are some of the lessons we can learn from this? Well, number 1, crypto at the end of the day holds its ideology of the wild West. We want decentralization, we want no regulation, we want 24/7 markets. Well, that doesn't come free. Positioning in strength is more important than ever. Leveraging only when there's strong momentum is even more important. This is a concept that people were confused about when I first started mentioning it. But you guys see what I mean now. I used to hold leverage on high time frame trades too. But after a few trades, I realized that waiting for a candle to close on the 2-week time frame, while holding leverage can be extremely anxiety-inducing. When, number one, you know you're likely going to be wrong, and number two, if there's a huge slip, you're wrecked. And lesson number three, leverage in crypto is primarily used to defer counterparty risk. If you're a successful trader already and have built size, you might be better off using leverage only to get your position in, and then settle out the futures position with spot. As these are big lessons that one only learns after getting wrecked by the market. And Sean has put it out here for all of you guys to learn from. Especially number 2 and number 3, I want you guys to heed to that. And hey, for those of you looking to level up your trading and have been asking about the seed program, well, guess what? Sean actually leads the seed program. And along with all of his teachings on TA, institutional order flow, risk management, position management, you get experiential nuggets just like this one laced through the entire program. So for those of you interested, I will be linking the seed program in the description below. It has been a game changer for me and many other people in the community. So definitely go ahead and check it out if you're looking to level up. Now, of course, we're going to be following Bitcoin as well as the altcoins on the Discord chat. So if you're not already in there, come on in, join the Discord fam at themangoway.com/Discord. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.